Welcome back to They Did What? Your source for the internet's craziest, most entertaining stories, where I go over them, analyze them, and most certainly make fun of them. Today, I'm going to hear a story titled, I, a 24-year-old female, want to break up with my magician boyfriend due to his inappropriate magic trick. And a shout out to Sam for sending this story. And guys, this story is definitely one of the more unusual stories I've ever covered in this channel. This channel's been around, I think, almost 4 years now, and this definitely is in the top 5. And you're going to see why very quickly. This is about a gal who recently moved in with her boyfriend. They've been together for maybe about 15 months, give or take. And let's just say there's trouble in paradise. Because now they moved in together, she's starting to see what it's really like all the time. And this particular situation, she wants to end it with him when he royally crossed the line. He is a magician. He does parties and events and things like that. Obviously a bit unusual. And she's the opposite. She's in school for archaeology, wants to be an archaeologist. Who knows, a female Indiana Jones? I don't know. And now, well, after what he pulled, it's pretty much over. And I've been going to go over here, guys, aside from the entertainment factor, that you never really know someone until you move in with them. And this is why that's like the final test if you really want to see who they really are if you're going to get that serious with them. And of course, you don't, well, you're going to see. So it starts off, she says, my boyfriend, a 27-year-old male, and I, a 24-year-old female, have been together for a year and 3 months. Our relationship has been very loving, but has started to get bumpy ever since we moved in together for our 1-year anniversary. Well, smack to those boneheads for moving in 1 year. Although, one can say, by her moving in, she got to see more of his true colors. But still, 1 year, that's crazy. A little backstory here. I'm in college right now, pursuing my master's degree in archaeology, while also working as a library clerk to earn money. Whereas my boyfriend works as a magician for parties and events. Despite our very different career paths, I've never had a problem with his career choice because it makes him happy. He has always found a way to make my everyday magical and has been very sweet. Okay, so far so good. I mean, perhaps he's trying to become a serious magician, maybe one day being in Vegas or something like that, so he's quite passionate, as you're going to see. But it seems to me, from what I've heard, a lot of these magicians definitely are a different breed. Could be a bit unusual. And I guess the real magicians never stop even when they're back home. Well, about 9 months into our relationship, I had the opportunity to go on a 2-month archaeological excavation in another country for school. Despite us becoming long distance, he had no problem with me going away, as he was very happy for me. He would send me gifts, letters, and even sent things from my colleagues in order to brighten up their days. Well, I'm not a big on this long distance relationship thing, but it sounds like this was just meant to be like temporary, couple months. And we can go back and forth on that one there. But if it was like for years, that'd be another ball game. But still, while we were doing the long distance, we made plans to move into an apartment together when I got back due to how much we missed each other. And a few days after I returned, we moved in together, which has been awful so far. What happened? They were missing each other and longing for each other. What could possibly go wrong? Before living together, we would see each other a few times a week due to my busy schedule, but now that we live together, we see each other all the time. Honey, that's what happens when you move in together. You're going to see each other all the time. You're not going to have the space like you had before. And he has started doing magic all the time. He'll make my keys disappear as I'm trying to go to work or school. He tries to practice his card tricks on me while I'm doing homework. He makes the cleaning rag vanish when I ask him to clean. And he has recently done something that makes me want to end the relationship. Wow. It's got to be pretty freaking bad that he's done something to make me want to end the relationship. What could that be? And notice she's talking about him doing the tricks and shit all the time. Obviously, it's his passion. Obviously, it's his purpose. Granted, he definitely doesn't stop, but this guy doesn't know boundaries. And he's about to cross a big one. I've never been in this serious a relationship before, so I don't want to throw our loving relationship away because of these bad few months. Last month, we were getting steamy, and he went down on me, which isn't unusual. While he was going down on me, he was saying some dirty talk here and there. I was lost in the moment for obvious reasons, but I snapped out of it when he said, "Oh, how did that get in there?" Not exactly the thing you say when you're pleasuring your girl going down to the Holy of Holies. How did that get in there? And I watched him pull a coin from my crotch. What the fuck, man? I told you this guy's an oddball. Okay, newsflash. He wants to do his tricks elsewhere, but in the bedroom, this isn't for comedy or humor. Unless she's made it clear that that is like a fetish for her and she gets off on it, bad idea. He found the coin moment hilarious, but just took me out of the moment and instantly made me annoyed, so we stopped. I can understand why. I wouldn't blame her if she smacked this guy. Shit, I'd smack him. Later, I told him that doing the magic in the bedroom made me literally dry up, so I asked him to keep the magic out of the bedroom. This motherfucker is lucky that once you didn't smack the shit out of him or kick him or something or knee him down there. Seriously. I know my 4%ers, my 4% girls out there are cringing at this thought. Fucking weirdo. He explained to me that he was trying to make me laugh and have fun, and he didn't apologize for it. No, asshole. You can make her have fun in a different way, not pulling fucking coins out of her hoo-ha. I talked with some of my friends about it, and they thought it was funny, so I figured that I was overreacting and needed to lighten up a bit. Of course her friends found it funny. There isn't anybody watching this that wouldn't laugh and then cringe at hearing such a story. But he didn't do any more magic tricks in the bedroom for the next few weeks. Well, that's big of him. However, 4 days ago, we were having you-know-what again, and suddenly he started to yell, ow! So I quickly got off him and was asking him what was wrong. He tells me, I think there's something in you. Oh, for God's sakes, here we go again. Let me check, he said. I laid on the bed like I was at the goddamn gyno because I trusted that if something was wrong, that he would find it. After like 2 minutes, he says, oh, here it is. And I watched as he was pulling up a long ribbon thing that kept going and going and going. Oh, for you guys have probably seen the magicians where like they're pulling like cloth of different colors out of like something like that. That's what this motherfucker's doing out of her Holy of Holies here. This is fucked up. It took me a second to realize that it was one of his magic tricks or magic tools that he had purposely put in there while he was checking to see what he felt. He found it hilarious and couldn't stop laughing while he was pulling the string more and more. This guy's a fucking wacko. Goodbye. It's over, motherfucker. This guy's nuts. Again, I'm dying to know what my 4%ers are thinking right now. I ripped the thing out while doing it, and I yelled at him for doing another magic trick like that, even though I told him not to. He told me that he was just adding more fun to our sex life, and that he wanted to see what the magic trick would look like if it was coming out from a crotch. Is this guy trying to make his fame and fortune by doing, like, basically PORN magic? I mean, everybody's got to have their thing, you know? But what the fuck? Now, I know some of you are like, this is bullshit. This could never happen. Guys, there are weird fucking people in this world, and weird shit happens. So, she says, the original magic trick involves putting the coil thing in your mouth and pulling out the plastic string for a while. I was pissed off, so I made him go stay at his parents' house for the past 2 days. This morning, I talked with him some more, but he still thinks it's no big deal. Well, guess what? That shows he doesn't respect this girl. If this girl has a problem with him doing this silly bullshit, and this is... Before it was creepy, it was like, look what I found with the fucking coin, but now he put the object there and was pulling ribbons and shit out. Oh, no. There ain't no going back now. This guy's a fucking nutcase and crossing the line. You know, ordinarily it's, the gals that are wackos in these stories and they're being unreasonable for breaking up with a guy. I got no problem with her having a problem with this. She says, I get that he's a magician and that he loves magic, but I'm still upset by him breaking that boundary. A boundary that I had set. I'm fine with his magic tricks 85% of the time, but this is where I draw the line. I am demisexual. Demisexual? Fuck does that mean? That she only has sex with Demi Moore? Or any woman named Demi? So I need to have a strong, trusting, and close relationship with someone before I can even think about having you-know-what with them. Well, that's gone by a long time ago, ever since he pulled the freaking quarter out of your, you know. So him breaking my boundary has really hurt me, and I've lost my trust in him. However, everyone I've talked to about the situation says that what he did was hilarious. Yeah, it didn't happen to them. They probably know the guy and find him very entertaining. Maybe they find him mysterious in his magician outfits and shit. But no. This is a situation. It doesn't make a difference what anybody else says. If he's bothering you, he's bothering you. And I've been told by multiple people that I'm overreacting, which is why I decided to go to Reddit. We built a strong relationship, and I really saw myself marrying him one day. I fully trusted him, and now I don't know if I can ever again. Should we break up? Or can we fix this and stay together? I'm lost, so I appreciate any advice. Thank you. So, as it turned out, after I decided to do that story, well, she had an update on what she did. So we're going to jump into the second part momentarily. But what do you think, guys? You think she has a right to have issue with this? I do. Seriously. This guy's crossed the... That's one thing if he does his tricks on the side, but in the bedroom it's normal. Or if she expressed that she's so turned on by things, then okay. None of that's happened. And so now, in my opinion, he really crossed the line. And I think if she's not as bothered, she's going to give him one more chance, saying, look, this shit's going to stop or we're done. Or that really just was it, if you will. And then she's every right to end it with him and move on. I mean, she's been with him 15 months. It isn't that long in the grand scheme of things. Well, anyway, on to part 2. Let's see what she does. She says, first off, no, this story is not AI and it's not fake. It's sadly true, but I can understand why people would think it's AI due to the absurdity of it. Well, it is pretty absurd, but after being here 47 years on this planet and doing thousands of stories, I've heard plenty. Secondly, thank you everyone for the advice and the comments on my previous post. I was lost and looking for some advice because of the uncomfortable situation, and people around me felt differently about it than I did. People in the comments were right, and I should trust my own feelings rather than searching for answers from the people around me. That's something that I've struggled with my entire life because my family is very reliant on each other, and my parents are both helicopter parents. So I learned from a young age that I couldn't trust my own instincts because other people know better. I don't like that. She's got to learn to trust her own instincts. Which is why I asked my friends and my mom about the situation. I have a lot more work to do in trusting myself, but at least I'm working on it now. Now here's the update, she says. After my previous post, I read through some of the comments and realized that what my boyfriend did would be considered, wait for it, I gotta watch what they say here, the A word. ASSAULT. Well, you know, she didn't want that object put there and everything, and it was creepy as hell. I'm not... That's a tough one. I can see why people would say that, and I can see what others would say, well, you know, but still. It wasn't something that I'd ever considered because I was only seeing it as him doing something stupid in the bedroom that broke my boundary and made me uncomfortable. Well, that's more along the line that I see it, and certainly I don't think he was trying to be doing the A word there. But still what he did was fucked up. But seeing those comments opened my eyes up a lot. Well, this is Reddit, and you're going to have people that are going to say the A word for a guy looking at you weird, for God's sakes. If he was willing to break my boundary only after a year of dating and could do that to me in the bedroom, then what else is he capable of? I met with him the next day at our apartment, and I told him about my feelings, which he didn't seem to care about. Well, that's a problem. That's no different than a guy confronting his girlfriend for behaving in a manner that deeply bothered him and her dismissing it and acting like it was no big deal. So I have no problem with her taking issue with him being like this. I show him the Reddit post so he could see that other people were also uncomfortable with what happened. Uh-oh. He read through your comments, but when he saw the word ASSAULT used a few times, he got really aggravated. I'd never seen him that angry before, but he was screaming nonstop and even whipped my coffee mug across the room. Okay, this is a problem. I get him being bothered by this, especially if he didn't think it was the A word, didn't mean it to be. But now he's screaming and yelling, which means he can't control his temper. And now he's hitting shit across the room. These are stepping stools to where violence happens. I ended up crying because I was scared, and I think that snapped him back to reality or something because he stopped yelling and was trying to comfort me. Okay, at least he did that. I made him leave our apartment again because I didn't want to be around him anymore. That night, my friends helped me pack up my stuff, and they took me to my parents' house, which is where I am right now. After I was out of the apartment and safe, I called him and broke up with him over the phone because I didn't feel comfortable doing it in person after his previous reaction. Well, you know what? If what she's saying is accurate and true, I don't entirely blame her. This dude's a fucking weirdo. Okay, it's one thing to be an eccentric, and he's an artist, if you will, a magician, everything, but the dude's a fucking weirdo. You never know what could happen. I'm so upset that I wasted over a year of my life dating him and even thinking about a future with him. Hey, you dodged a big one. You could have had a longer future with him. Thank you all for giving me the courage to follow my feelings and break up with him for good. I really appreciate it. Also, thank you for all the jokes. It's lightened the mood and it's helped me feel better about the situation. Yes, to you people out there, the magic is gone and it's time for me to disappear. Well, anyhow, guys, this is why I said this is one of the weirdest stories I've ever covered. Top 5, definitely. And so I'd like to know what you guys think in the comment section. Now, I know you 4%ers, the girls are going to say, I can only imagine the comments. I highly encourage all the 4%ers to say what you got to say. But the way I see it, I don't blame her. The dude's a fucking weirdo. They're not compatible. He doesn't understand boundaries. And pulling that in the bedroom, which is an entirely different situation to do his tricks, and on her. And first the fucking quarter thing or whatever currency he pulled out of there. And then the thing that he obviously put in there, which insert, which she didn't approve of, and pulling the fucking ribbons out. What the fuck? This guy's nuts. And again, this is on the basis that this is true, and I'm inclined to believe this is true, and there's weird shit out there, and you never know. I don't blame her at all. And then, but the thing is, I don't honestly think that he meant to be in the way that, the Redditors took it as the absolute A word, but it certainly wasn't cool. But at the end of the day, it boils down to this. She obviously is creeped out by him. She doesn't trust him. And then when she went to him, he lost his shit and was screaming and yelling and knocking the coffee mug across the room. She feels unsafe. So in this situation, I'm siding with the girl here. And I have no problem with her breaking up with him. And I highly recommend she, maybe install some cameras, watch your back for a while, stuff like that, because who knows what this guy can do. Again, perhaps he didn't mean to go that far. I'd like to think that, but still, this was odd. Anyhow, guys, I'd like to hear what you say. I know some of you are going to agree with me on this, but I think that it went too far. All right, guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. I said that. And, guys, you got a story to send it my way. strongsuccessfulmale@gmail.com. And if it's a good one, I'll definitely cover it. And be sure to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe. I'll catch you next time.